Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? We are back with more Z series archetypes to talk about, and today we'll be talking about the new Paikuhan leader, which actually seems like a pretty insane leader. And I think a lot of people are going to be excited about this one because Paikuhan's a fan favorite character, got its own archetype several sets ago, but it was kind of a letdown, to be honest. The leader wasn't all that strong in a time where blue was really good, and I kind of hate where they do this thing where they come out with a fan favorite leader like Paikuhan and they make the archetype revolve around something generic like Gogeta, like how the last Paikuhan deck did. They did the same thing with Future Gohan where the main deck really just revolved around Future Trunks. This time around though, Paikuhan actually revolves around Paikuhan, so I think a lot of people will be very, very happy about that. We'll get into it in today's video though. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And if you guys want to help support the channel, there are many ways to do so down in the description. But today, guys, if you want to buy or pre-order any of the cards we talk about in today's video, or any trading cards for that matter, feel free to use my link in the description to TCG Player. Really does help the channel out a lot, and I really do appreciate it. Anyways, let's jump right into the leader. We have Paikuhan on the Unawakened side. When this card attacks, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 blue card with energy cost of 1 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Okay, just take in how insane that effect is. Search any blue card that costs 1. Search Sensu Bean, search Dimension Magic, search Dirty Burst, like any of these insanely powerful 1-cost cards besides the archetype cards you can already search. Now, I do want to bring up a point here that there are many Paikuhan 1-drops that exist from the previous Paikuhan archetype, but I don't really think they gel all that well with this deck, to be honest. I don't think you really need to play many of them. Of course, they are searchable. Of course, they are Paikuhan cards. But yeah, I don't really think they gel all that well with this deck. And there are actually other new 1-drops you're meant to play that we'll see in a bit. So I just want to kind of point that out to just talk a bit about how the old stuff may or may not mesh with the new stuff. But anyways, if you have 2 or more energy and one of your energy is added to your Z energy, you may flip this card over. If you do, draw 2, then add cards from life to hand until you have 6 life left. When it lasts to 4 or less, you may draw 2 cards. We have Paikuhan, West Galaxy Warrior. Auto when this card attacks, draw 1. Auto once per turn if it's your turn. When one of your energy is switched to active mode by one of your blue card skills, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and return it to the owner's hand. Not bad. I mean, a pretty free form removal, I guess. Active main once per turn, draw 1 card, then place 1 card from your hand on top of your deck. There are some pretty cool engines you can play with like deck stacking, and this one makes it pretty easy since it's an activate main. There's like a Majin Buu engine, I think it's from Evolution Booster if I'm not mistaken, that might be able to work with this. I'd have to go back and read it a bit more, but just know that there are some cool things you can do in blue with deck stacking and deck manipulation. But I mean, we're not going to talk about that in today's video because it's not the main archetype, but just wanted to point it out. Anyways, we have the Z leader, Paikuhan Depthless skill. We have a base double strike 15k leader, Z awaken for a blue energy over a blue Paikuhan. So notice there's no life restriction. As long as you have the 1 blue energy and you're already awakened and you have the 4 Z energy, you're able to just go right into this leader, which you might want to do immediately, considering again the fact that he's a base double striker. That's great for dealing with unisons. The regular awakened side is fine. I mean, you could set some things up, but I really think that the Z leader is just better in most ways. So auto when this card attacks, draw 2, then place 1 card from hand on top of your deck. Auto when this card's power is increased by one of your Paikuhan card skills, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and place on top of the owner's deck. That's a really cool form of removal that we don't really see. I wonder if there's actually any effects that do that. I can't remember, but basically what you're doing is you're removing a battle card back to the deck, so it's not like it's going back into their hand. You're also essentially stunting your opponent's next draw, which is also really important. Like, they're just not seeing a new card. They're seeing a card that they've already had access to, so you're kind of limiting their options, which is a really cool form of removal. Activating once per turn, return one of your blue Paikuhan cards with energy cost of 8 to its owner's hand, and then play up to 1 blue Paikuhan card with energy cost of 5 from your hand. So we know there's a Paikuhan 8-drop SCR, but also new Paikuhan cards that we'll see in a moment. So we have Paikuhan testing the opposition, 5-drop 20k deflect, permanent during your turn. This card gains barrier, so during your turn it's got incredible protection. Activate main for 2 energy, place a Frieza and a Cell from your energy in the owner's drops, play this card from your hand, then place up 2 cards on top of your deck in your energy in rest mode. The Cells and the Friezas are very gimmicky for this deck, but we'll see that in just a bit. Activate main for a blue. If your leader is a blue Paikuhan card and you return this card to the owner's hand, play up to 1 blue Paikuhan with an energy cost of 8 from your hand. If you played a card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. So you get a little bit of barrier removal and you get the ability to play your Paikuhan SCR, but to be honest, I don't think you're playing an SCR in this deck. I think Baby Hatch just way outshines that SCR in like all ways. So you're probably just going to play 3 to 4 copies of Paikuhan Otherworld Champ. So we have an 8-drop 30k dual attacker. Activate main, switch card to rest mode, switch one of your blue energy to active mode, and you can't attack with battle cards for the turn. That activate main's a little bit weird, but I think it actually does have one cool purpose. Like, I think the main thing you might be thinking is like, why wouldn't I want to tackle this twice for 30k? And that's totally true, but if you get floodgated, at least you have a way to make use of the card. It doesn't totally require attacking. That's kind of cool. But anyways, activate battle once per turn. Look at one card from top of your deck, add up to one blue Paikuhan card among them to your hand, then place the remaining card at the bottom of your deck. If you added a card to your hand, choose one of your blue leaders, and it gets, or blue cards rather, it gets plus 5k power for the turn. So we saw an ability on the Z leader that says when you boost its power, you get another effect. This is the way to trigger that. And of course, we know we can stack the deck with many effects, so we can pretty much guarantee that it's a Paikuhan card we add to our hand. We also have Paikuhan Glimpse of Might. Sorry for the bad image here. I didn't see this card on Facebook, so I had to pull it from somewhere else. Kind of a bad quality. But 1-drop Paikuhan Glimpse of Might. We have auto limit 1. If your leader is a blue Paikuhan card and this card is played, add 1 blue battle card from your energy to your Z energy. And if you do, add this card to your energy. So that's the alternate awakening condition we saw on the leader. Active main limit 1. Choose 1 Super Paikuhan True Mastery in Unison area and place this card under it from your drop. So it's a Rejuvenate Unison, a little bit of a spoiler, that you can stack some cards under pretty easily to pull off that Rejuvenate if you want to. So as far as the Paikuhan boss package goes, honestly, I don't have any complaints, to be honest. I mean, we have Deflect at the 5-drop and Barrier. The 8-drop, the only thing it kind of loses to is blue, I guess, with God Sealing, and maybe yellow if they, you know, make it enter play rested. But besides that, it's an 8-drop. It's protected against green. It's pretty solid with the 30k dual attack. Got some pretty solid effects. Buffs your leader, adds a card to your hand. So while I don't think it's the most threatening boss monster in the world, it's pretty cheap to come out, to be honest. So I think for the energy you're paying, it's probably pretty appropriate. And I do like the fact that Testing the Op has barrier removal built in. And again, like, great protection on its own. I think that's really, really good. Setting it up with the Cell and the Frieza in the energy seems a little gimmicky, but we'll talk about that a little bit more right now. So we have Cell, Hellish Hellraiser. We have auto when this card's played. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Add up to 1 Frieza or another World Budokai card, both blue with energy cost of 5 or less among them to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Activate main limit 1 for a blue. If your leader is a blue Paikuhan card, you place one of your blue energy in the owner's drop. Add this card from your drop to your energy in rest mode. Then switch one of your energy to active mode. So we saw from the previous Paikuhan Testing the Opposition that we want to get this into our energy. That's the way to do it. Then we have Frieza, Hellish Hellraiser, 1-drop 4k auto. When this card's played, look at 5 cards top of your deck. Add up to 1 Cell or another World Budokai card, both blue with an energy cost of 5 or less among them to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Activate main limit 1. If your leader is a blue Paikuhan card and you add one of your blue energy in active mode to your hand, discard 1 card from your hand, then add this card from your drop to your energy. That's a pretty cool effect in and of itself because it doesn't cost you energy to do that, but you can charge a card that you want to add back to your hand early and then seemingly recycle it with this Frieza. That's kind of neat. I mean, you will need both in your energy for Testing the Opposition Paikuhan, but still, like, a pretty cool effect from Frieza in my opinion. Zenkai Impending Clash, 1-drop 5k. When this card's played, look at up to 5 cards top of your deck. Add up to 1 West Galaxy Warrior, which is pretty much all your Paikuhan cards, or another World Budokai card, both blue energy cost of 5 or less, or 1 blue Unison with a specified cost of 2 among them to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. So your typical archetype searcher. I mean, to be honest, I don't think you'll play this card, though, because you probably need to play at least 4 of each Cell and Frieza, if not maybe 3 copies of each. So how many 1-drops are you realistically going to play? Zenkai Impending Clash probably won't make the cut, but I mean, I guess, you know, time will tell on that one. Then we have the Unison for the deck. Super Paikuhan True Mastery. 2-drop 15k. Rejuvenate once per turn by removing 5 markers. Don't forget, you do have to have a card under the Unison to rejuvenate. That's where the 1-drop Paikuhan comes into play. Active main +2. Look at 5 cards top of your deck. Place 1 blue card among them in your drop. Then shuffle your deck. That's important for getting your Cells and your Friezas into the drop, to then use their activate mains to get them into your energy. That's pretty important there. Activate main +0. Draw a card, then place 1 card from your hand under this card. So if you needed to, you could +0. Then if you had enough markers to rejuvenate, you could rejuvenate right then and there. That's one way to do it. Activate main -6. Add up to 1 Paikuhan card from your deck to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. So technically your SCR is searchable, but again, I don't think you're playing that card in the deck, to be honest. So next up, I want to talk about 2 older cards that can actually work in the deck. So we have Frieza and Cell, a match made in hell. I love how that card rhymes, but it's a 2-drop 15k Unison. It's got Rejuvenate. Auto when a card in a battle area is returned to the owner's hand by a skill. Draw 1 card, then choose 1 card in your hand and place it on top of your deck or bottom of your deck. That's not too important for this archetype. The +1, though, lets you play 1-drops for free without paying energy. I don't think that's going to be super important in this strategy in particular. I mean, to be honest, playing the Cells and Friezas seems less important than just getting them into your energy. So while I don't think this Unison is going to be all that important, I think if you wanted more copies of a 2-cost Unison, you'd probably just play like Hit, Battlefield Manipulator, or the Android 1718 Unison from the Gamma deck. Just want to kind of point it out because it was created for the previous deck, and maybe there's something there where it can be useful. Then we have West Galaxy, Revival, 1-drop extra card, activate Manif Leaders, a blue Paikuhan card, draw 2, choose 1 card in your hand and place on top of your deck, then switch one of your mono blue energy to active mode, and you can't activate skills in this card for the turn. So a very free, just like see 2 new cards and stack top of your deck ability. And then activate Manif Leader is a blue Paikuhan card, and you choose one of your blue Unisons with Rejuvenate. Send this card from your drop area to your warp. Place the top card of your deck under the chosen Unison card, and you can't activate main skills on copies of this card for the turn. So because of the fact that it's like a perfectly free card to just draw 2 and see some new things, I think it might be worth playing in the deck. I mean, old Paikuhan lists never really did anything super successful in the meta, but I don't even remember those lists playing many copies of this card, and the Super Paikuhan Unison seems to have its own ways to set up Rejuvenate, whether it's the +0 or the new 1-drop Paikuhan. So again, I don't know if you'll need this card taking up slots in your deck, but I did think it was one of the more playable cards from the old support that I did think was kind of worth mentioning. Then we have Cell, Awakening of the Created. So we have a Z battle card. That's not solely for this deck, but I figured I would split up the blue Z battle cards and talk about them in separate videos. So Cell, Awakening of the Created, 3-drop 25k, 2 Z energy cost, deflect critical. When this card's played, choose all your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 5 or less and place them under this card. So it's a mini board wipe. Activate main once per turn. If one or more cards are under this card and you place all in the owner's drops, switch card to active mode. Additionally, if you use this card skill to place 4 or more cards in drops, this card gains triple strike for the turn. So with all those materials, you have the potential to be a triple strike critical. That's kind of interesting. Another thing that I find kind of interesting is, like, obviously you're going to play this card in Gamma, right? And you can evolve Perfect Force Cell over this if that play kind of lines up. Something that's kind of interesting to note. But I mean, great Z battle card, mini board wipe. There's no reason why you wouldn't play in your Z deck, especially because as the Z series comes out initially, your Z battle card options are pretty limited, to be honest. Next up, we have Thunder Flash, 1-drop counter attack, negate the attack. Activate main, pay a blue. If your leader is a Paikuhan card, you send this card from your drop to your warp. Choose 1 blue Paikuhan card and it gains +5k and double strike for the turn. Pretty neat thing you can do. You can give this to the 8-drop dual attacker. Now it's a 35k dual attack double striker. Not bad. Kind of requires a little bit of annoying setup, but I mean, you can just dump this right to your drop area with the Super Paikuhan Unison, so that's something to keep in mind. And then just wanted to show Dirty Burst here because it is a searchable card with the Unawakened side of the leader, like I mentioned again. Sense of Being, Dimension Magic, Dirty Burst, all the 1-drops that we saw, very searchable by the Unawakened side of the leader, which is kind of crazy. So overall, I mean, thoughts on this archetype? It seems okay. It seems like a more cohesive deck than the previous Paikuhan deck was. I like the fact that it revolves around Paikuhan as an archetype. The battle cards are okay. Again, I do like Paikuhan testing the op. The 8-drop leaves a little bit to be desired, but I mean, even though it's an 8-drop, you're technically only playing it for 3 energy, right? So maybe as a 3 energy play, it's actually pretty solid. That's my initial thoughts on that. Again, the leader just seems really good. I think what you want to do is just search all your valuable 1-drop cards on your Unawakened side and then get to your Z leader as fast as possible, because that Z leader does seem really good. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about the new Paikuhan deck. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.